Hello merchants, this is Alex and I'm going to do a quick video on the warehouse layout tool since I realized the last video didn't quite have sound with it. So as you can see here, I have created a warehouse and entered into that warehouse from my main company dashboard. When I go down to the warehouse layout and click on view, you will be brought to a relatively, if you haven't set up anything yet, it will have just one single bin and one single shelf. So as you can see here, I already have a layout created, but we're gonna go ahead and just create a very small demo layout here. A couple of things about this interface as a whole. Number one, if you do have a warehouse layout, you can toggle this bins filled or empty. And so actually you'll be able to view all of the empty bins within your warehouse as well as the ones which have product within them. So that's kind of a handy way of seeing what the allocation is looking like within your warehouse currently. Now, second thing about the interface here is you can view bins by level, right? So each shelf can contain multiple levels, and a bin is assigned to a specific level on the shelf. So as you can see, when I cycle through different levels, I will see different bins that are available on that level. I go back down to my first level, now I've got a bunch more bins there. Finally, in order to really make edits, you first need to come up and click edit, which will bring up a few points here on the interface, which is to create shelves and bins, creating areas, creating a wall or door, and then to handle some bulk actions, which is mainly to copy bins from one level up to another level. So if you have the same layout for each of your levels, all you have to do is create one single level, and then you can copy those to other levels within the shelves. So to get started here, I'll just click on create shelf or bin, and then I can come up into here, just click and drag, and this is going to create a shelf for me. Okay, so now I've got a shelf. Now keep in mind, when you have one of these selected, SKU Savvy is going to create that, it's going to keep creating. So if you want to start panning around, you need to go back to here, and now you can move this around. Now, if I want to create a bin within that shelf, I just simply keep that selected, use the mouse pointer to hover over where I want to, and then I can come in and just click and drag, and that's going to create a bin now. Okay, so I've got a shelf and I've got a bin here. And now if I want to see the actual information, just simply click on the information, and now I can provide a naming convention for my shelves and the bins. So I'll just do shelf X, and then I can go ahead and name the other one here. I'll call this shelf Y. And then I can go ahead and click on. Now when you first click within, as you can see, if I click on my bin here, it's first going to go to the shelf, and secondary click goes to the bin. So I'm not going to worry about bin names here, and I'll show you why, is because I can actually come back within my shelf, and let's make a couple more first. So to make more bins, you can just simply come down here, select create shelf or bin, and do the same way. Click and draw that. Alternatively, I can control copy and control paste, and that's going to automatically create a new bin for me. I can do that as many times as I want to, but each bin will be held within just that one shelf. So you can't copy and paste bins across shelves. They must be within the same shelf. Even if I try to go over here, it will give me a bin, but when I update this, that will disappear. So I'll just go ahead and delete that one. And so now I've got a shelf with 4 bins. And what I'm going to do here is let me click on the shelf. That will pull the information out. And as you can see, you've got a bunch of randomly generated bin strings as names. Instead, I want to go through and just generate the bin names there. So I'll click on that, and automatically SKU Savvy will create the bin names for you. And it will be according to, you could do this across multiple levels, right? So if you created multiple levels worth of bins and they have no names yet, just come in one time, click on the shelf, and it will generate bin names across all the levels, right? And so once you are actually copying bins from one level to another, you're going to want to click back into each of your shelves and generate the bin names. And that way you'll have unique bin names for each of them. Okay, so the next thing is you want to make sure that you're always updating. We've seen it many times where someone will come through, they've been building this grandiose layout, and all of a sudden they lose their progress. So make sure that you go ahead and update. You will get an error if you try to, here, I'll just show you. If you try to exit, you will get a pop-up that says, hey, you haven't saved yet, and that's what we're trying to prevent. So I went ahead and made that, and you get this, that you're gonna leave the page with unsaved changes. So now I've got a simple shelf, a couple of bins, and now let's go ahead and make an area. An area is just simply to keep the warehouse layout as close to what you currently have in your own warehouse layout. So this could be, a packing area, it could be an inbound area, could just be office space. You can select a color for that and give it a name and description. Another thing about this is each of your shelves, bins, areas, etc., have a series of coordinates on this layout. And so I can go ahead and actually adjust these here, which will move that. Of course, you can click and drag it. And also you can expand this just by clicking within those dots, similar in a way to creating like a PowerPoint presentation. So you always want to go ahead and save these changes. Let's go ahead and just finish this one off real quick. Control copy, paste, paste, paste. Okay, so now I've got a couple more bins there, and I'm going to go ahead and generate some bin names. Okay, so now I've got 2 shelves, some bins, and I could start now allocating product to these bins. So I'm going to go ahead and update this. Now, if I want to directly allocate product to this bin, there's a couple of ways to do it. So I could, you could come right within this warehouse layout, click on a bin, you'll see which products are there. And then if you want to edit the products, you can go into edit products, and now we will add product to this bin. So I could go ahead, click within here, select my blender bottle, click add, and now I can, let's say I wanted to add 10 to this bin. Now I've just added 10, and I can also add a max capacity here so that you'll only be able to save a certain amount of bins or a certain amount of quantity of item within this bin. So I'll just go ahead and save that. That's some new product that's within this bin. Alternatively, you can come directly within your, whoops, I didn't save that. Let's save that. And alternatively, you can come directly within your inventory. And as you can see up here, you'll just do an adjustment of inventory. Finally, you can just simply scan a product. So let's go ahead and we'll scan. This is something for our super admin. So this mimics a scan. So this is going to act as if we just scanned this product. And now I want to make an inventory adjustment. So we'll do adjust inventory. So now this item that I just scanned is automatically selected, and I can go ahead and scan the bin directly. Now, bins by default have a generated label. Now I'm not going to add inventory there. That was just to demonstrate the point. But you could add multiple items to this adjustment, scan it to the bin, and save them all at once, right? So if you have 15 different items that are coming in and all different quantities, you can go ahead, scan the item here, scan the bin, and adjust the quantity. And you can do this across multiple items and then go ahead and save it. So another thing to keep in mind about the layout, as I just mentioned, the bins have a generated barcode with them. So each bin, if I go within my list of bins, click on one, you'll see that they have a generated barcode here. So I could go ahead and print this barcode out. It will print on a 4x2 format. You can use larger formats and cut them out. You could use smaller formats, and generally it will scale pretty well. Alternatively, if you wanted to print a bunch of bins all at once, you can go ahead and click within your shelves, and the shelf will list out which bins it contains and the position within the warehouse. And now if I wanted to print all of these barcodes, I can go ahead and select which levels, and I can select a format. And so once I go ahead and print these, it will print all of the bins for that particular shelf. I don't want that. So let's go into here. So you've got your bins here, and you can go ahead and print all, which will pop up a dialog with all of the bin labels there for a particular shelf. So then you can print those out. And of course, once you scan these, they will automatically bring up the bin and show you the information there. So that's a quick way of creating a warehouse layout, getting the bins printed, and being able to allocate inventory to a bin. So hopefully that will help you get up and going quickly with SKU Savvy. This is one of the first steps because SKU Savvy does rely on having some sort of inventory quantity within the warehouse so that you're able to accurately fulfill those orders and maintain your inventory levels. So with that, I will let you get back to setting up your warehouse, and hopefully we'll get you rolling, fulfilling orders here very soon. Feel free to reach out with a calendar invite, or just simply send us an email. We'll be happy to help you out and can jump on a video screen share if you'd like to, so that we can get you up and going faster with less frustration if you're getting to that point. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.